Can you hear me, guys? All right, now, William, my mic was down. Is that good now? How about now? Is that good? Can you hear now, William? What? Let me know if you can hear me, guys, before I get started. Just message it on the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Time watching. We'll wait for like a couple of more minutes before we get started. If you guys have any questions in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, just let me know and I will answer before we have everybody get started. We'll start it in 3 minutes, okay, at 12:05. It's gonna be a really good. All right, awesome, William. It's gonna be a really good video today. It's gonna be a compact one, but it's gonna be lots of great lessons. So I'm really excited. Chat, there was no value, but now there is. Can you confirm again? Now can you hear me? All right, we still have people joining in, so I'll wait for 2 more minutes. Awesome, Isaac. Welcome, guys. Welcome. If you have any questions right now, I'm more than happy to answer before we get started. But today is going to be a really good one, a good video. I'm really excited about it because it's going to be a small and short one, but at the same time compact. So I'm really excited. So you guys in for a treat today, I think. Guys, can you guys do me a favor and just send this link to people who think it's going to be helpful? I just posted it in the chat as well. If you guys think it's going to be helpful for other people, make sure to put them, just send it to them. It'd be nice. Okay, we're going to be starting in 1 more minute. I'll start at 12:05. Okay, let me get some water real quick. I want to wait, for everybody because I don't want anybody to miss because it's going to be a compact video and you want to make sure you listen to every single part of it because everything is related, okay? So once I start, make sure to give me full attention for next 15 to 20 minutes or more, a little less, a little bit, but that's my that's gonna be the that's how I've designed this, okay? So I'll wait for another I think it's good. I'm gonna get started 12:05. Do you guys have any questions before I get started, any other question while we're waiting for someone, for people? But if you do have any questions, make sure to just put it on the chat and I will look at it at the end. We'll do a Q&A at the end as well, okay? So let's get started. So today what we're talking about is how to do technical analysis. So we do technical analysis. If you guys in the chat, most of you we are basing our trades based off technical analysis. However, just the technical analysis is just not enough. right? It's just not enough, because even though you know how to do technical analysis, you know what's the plan is, you know, however, there's so many other things that go into the plan. There is position sizing, there are entry points, there are exit points, stop losses, right? And everything has to come in together to form a perfect trade. And we're gonna go through an example of all of it and what needs to look into it. All right, so that's the topic today. So I'm hoping that you understand little basics of charts, and if not, then still it's going to be just fine, because I've put in a very simple basic examples. All right, so what are the pros of having a complete technical plan and the trading and entries, and what you will learn in this? Okay, so you're going to learn how to find good entries. All right, how to find good entries and have a good risk management, because even if you have a really good entry, you still end up taking a big loss. How? Because you held it longer, you didn't know your stop loss. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, and how to have control losses, because let's face it, it's not about how much money you make at the end of the day, it's about how much money you kept. If you make 100,000 but you lost 200,000, you're down negative 100,000, even though you had an amazing $100,000 run, right? And what basically the best part I love about this is to have a complete trading plan is the lack of emotions. The main reason is that you just keep your emotions out of trading, and how to do that, that's the key. All right, as long as I'm pretty sure all you guys have been to that place, right, where if only you did not get emotional, that would have been an amazing trade, right? So that's what I love about this, and that leads to stress-free trading. And then once you have a stress-free trading, that's when you start to learn, and that's when you start to enjoy trading, right? When the stress is gone. Because I mean, let's face it, even if you make 10,000, right, let's say in a year, which is not bad, even if you make 10,000, for example, for a newbie, it's still, if it's a lot of stress, you're like, oh my god, it's not even worth it, man. The amount of stress I've made, the amount of time I've put in, right? That's what I strive for in my trading. Okay, if you guys in the chat, you probably already know. And at the end of the day, my goal is to have more traders who are more independent. You're not asked, because like I'm in this trading world, and I get text all the time, calls all the time. Hey, I'm stuck in this. What should I do here? What should I buy? Should I sell? What should I do? And I just want to get this information out, because if you do this, I guarantee you're not going to be scrambling around. You're not going to be running around what to do. You will already have a plan. That's the whole goal, right? If you already knew that if something does this, if it does this, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do that. So you'll already have the plan before, right? So you will never be in a situation where you're asking around, you're stressed, you're losing money, and you're stressed, and you don't know what to do, right? That's a very, very bad situation to be in. If you're finding yourself into that situation, then this is a video for you. Okay, so let's talk about this now that we know what it is, how we're gonna do it. So what takes to have a complete trading plan? What it takes to have no stress, have less loss or bigger profits? What it takes, okay? What are the steps, or what are the things that are important? The number one thing is that you have to have a sound, good strategy that has a good success rate. Okay, now you can say, hey, I have a good strategy. I can, if all I need is a good strategy, then I don't need this webinar right now. But that's not the point. There are strategies everywhere. Okay, for example, if you want to get six-pack abs, all you have to do is just go to YouTube. You can find tons of information, and if you just only do that, you will have six-pack abs. But why we don't have it? Why most people don't have it? Right? I'm probably one of you do, or a few of you do, but most people don't, right? So having a strategy is not enough. That's my point. Okay, how to accomplish it and make things easy and how to do it, that's the main point. So what includes in a after a trading plan, after you have a good strategy, right? What includes is that you have to have a good entry point. In a strategy, you also need to have a good stop loss point, where if the stock does go against you, you know when to get out. And then, even if you have an entry point, even if you have a stop loss point, if you don't have an exit or a profit targets, it doesn't matter. I've had so many people call me and be like, hey, I was holding this stock at 20 bucks and then it went all the way to 50 and now it's back down to 10. I'm losing money. What should I do? They had a perfect entry. They had, amazing setup. They got in, yet they're losing money on it. right? Why? Because they just did not have profit targets. If they only had profit targets, took profits along the way, let's say they got 20 and they took profits 30, 40, 50, when it came back down all the way, they wouldn't be in a loss, right? So profit target is so important. When the stock keeps going up, we get greedy, right? And we get we get greedy, and that's to eliminate that, and that's one of part of emotions. Being greedy is an emotion, right? So how to tackle that is have profit targets. So when they hits, you automatically take profits and done. But out of all, the most important part is position sizing. Guys, position sizing is the most important part. And if you don't do that part, if you do not have a position sizing, no matter how amazing your entry is, no matter how amazing your stop loss is, no matter how amazing your targets are, you are eventually going to lose money in the long run. And I'm going to show you how. Why? And what I mean by position sizing is that how many shares you should buy at that time. Okay? How to know how many shares to buy. Okay? So that's the most important part. And then when I do all of this, this is basically called a what if analysis. Like, I mean, a lot of you guys are in IT, right? We have a lot of people in IT. We do what if analysis. If something happens, if this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do this. Now, what's the point behind this? The whole point behind it is that if something happens, right, I will do this. So it means that if something does happen, I'm already prepared. So we have a what if analysis. So for example, if I get into a trade and if it goes down, I know where my stop loss is. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be calling around and be like, hey, you're a good trader. Can you tell me where to get out? What should I do with this? No, you would already have known, right? So that's why it's very, very important to have all these points. So write it down in your piece of paper. Take a screenshot. These are the things that you need to know. And you need to know before you enter into a trade. So all these things you need to know before you enter a trade, okay? For example, so this is a quick example. Just numbers don't matter, but I'm just giving throwing a random number down. So say you want to buy Apple at 150, okay, for example. So your stop loss is 145, which is $5 per share risk. So let's say if you're risking $100, then you know how many shares to buy, which is 20 shares. So if you risk, because your risk is $5 per share, because you bought at 150, your stop loss 145. So now you have position size, which is 20 shares, because you're risking $100. If you're risking $200, then you're going to buy 40 shares. So everybody is different. So you realize what is your entry point, what is your stop loss point, okay, what is your position size, okay, and what is your profit targets. Then you'll be like, okay, if I get in 150, my stop loss 145, I get in 165, 175, 200. For example. So now you have what if analysis, means that if it goes up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take profits. If it goes down, what I'm going to do, right? How many shares I'm going to buy, and that's a complete plan. We're going to look into a real life example, okay? But I'm going to show just a theory here, but we're going to go to the exciting part here, okay? Now, that being said, let's look into this. Let's go into it and have a real time. Let's have a real example. So now let's get the fun part, okay? So first, number one thing is that the step one, which is have a strategy. So in this example, we're gonna do this is not really a trading strategy, right, episode, but this is more about, okay, we have to have a strategy. So we're gonna look up that triangle pattern strategy, which is a very, very common. That's why I picked it up, because if it's a triangle pattern, what you want to do is that, when the stock breaks out of this triangle pattern, you buy right at the breakout. Okay, now this is something very, very simple. It's out there, just like there's a video out there how to get six-pack abs, how to do anything, how to become best video editor, how to become the best actor. There are videos of everything, right? However, we're not that. We should be able to do it, right? But we're not doing it. Why? Because there are lots of other steps that go into it. It's very, very simple. However, how do you know where you're gonna sell? How do you know what's your stop loss? How do you know your position size, right? So we're gonna look into this example. So we're gonna look at a strategy of a triangle pattern. Okay. Oh guys, by the way, if you guys are not in it, make sure to subscribe. Okay, make sure to subscribe, because I'm gonna be doing these classes every other week. We're gonna have a class next week on how to apply for taxes. We have a CPA coming over on the channel, and he's gonna be talking about how to file for taxes and get the best returns out of it. How to make sure you take best advantage of as a short-term trader. Okay, so make sure you like it and make sure you subscribe, so if you're aware of the next video. Now, let's go back in here and look at our Neo. So I'm going to talk about, remember I said that we're going to be looking at the triangle pattern here. So you see a triangle pattern. So we're going to look into an example. So last when Neo, I put Neo as an example because it's a very, very famous stock and everybody knows it, right? And there was a massive opportunity and we took it. Okay, we took it, and that's why I'm talking, because a lot of you guys in our chat took it too. So there's gonna be, you guys are gonna resonate with it a lot, right? So we talked about, hey, Neo is worth watching for a swing trade. A swing trade is basically when you buy something and hold it for a few days. Okay, why? Because it was making this triangle pattern. So I talked about this before, right? So I said, hey guys, this is making a triangle pattern. So look here, the triangle pattern, and Neo is making this triangle pattern, right? So I alerted it to all you guys. However, I noticed that, hey, a lot of people did not really profited from that much because there was not exactly planned. And so, as I go further, I'm making more and more progress, right? I'm trying to make things better. And that's why one of those videos is coming out today. And that's what I'm talking about, is that I talked about this, hey, Neo's working for swing trade, looking for a pattern. So making this pattern, and I made a little arrow, right? Little arrow with my mouse, that it's gonna go up. I didn't know it was gonna go up, but that's what the triangle pattern is. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so this is actually what happened after. This is the Neo, and notice here, this was a triangle pattern. So you see how this was a triangle pattern? Now we're gonna take all the things that we learned earlier, how to have a perfect trading plan, and apply it, how to have made a perfect trade out of it. Okay, so we know that we have a strategy, which is a triangle pattern, so we are gonna buy the breakout of the triangle pattern. We already have a triangle pattern set up already here, right? So we know, hey, if it's gonna break out, we're gonna get in. So first we realize there's a triangle pattern forming here, okay, and 38.50 is the support around this area, okay. So as soon as it break out, we buy here. So we buy at what? $40, so $42, which is the break of this triangle pattern. All right. Now that's not just the only part. If you do it, you're not done, okay, because there are lots of other things that you need to do. What is that? You have to have a stop loss. Okay, so the number one part was to have a sound strategy that has good odds of success. In this case, we have a triangle pattern, right? Then we do a what if analysis. Okay, so now what if we buy here and it goes down? Then that's our stop. Okay, so we have an entry point. If it breaks, we buy. If it comes down, we sell. If it works, we take profits. So see, we have a what if analysis on all of them. So now once we enter, whatever it happens, whatever it does, we're prepared for it. Now because of that, this is the best part. Because of that, you're not emotional at all. You know exactly what you're gonna do, whatever case happens. If it goes down, what are you gonna do? If it goes up, what are you gonna do? You don't have to call or text anybody or ask anybody, hey, what should I do? I'm stuck. No. All right. But the most important part, this is not, let's say you did all of that, still it's not enough. Because the most important part is position sizing. Guys, this is the most important part. I've been trading for four and a half years, and my first 2 years I already knew all of it. Yet I was losing money, and it was because of the position sizing. What does that mean, position sizing? It's the risk management, the number one rule in trading. And people, I don't know how a lot of people don't understand it, because it's just that it's kind of hard to understand, but it's something very, very simple. What it is that you have to first know how much your money you're willing to lose before entering into a trade. So I'm gonna just do it for a whole number purpose. So because we're gonna enter at 42 and our stop loss is 38, there's a $4 difference from your entry to your stop loss, right? So if your stop loss is 38, which is the support line, right? If it breaks and it comes back down and breaks the triangle pattern, it's not valid anymore. So you're gonna take a loss. So let's say that you are risking $400. If you risk, let's say you have a 100K account, you're okay to lose $400, right? Or whatever the number is, everybody's different. But we're gonna take an example of 400 because it's a whole number. So how many shares should you buy so that if you are wrong, you not lose more than 400? Okay, because that's something you're okay with. You're gonna calculate $1. You're gonna buy 100 shares. Why? Because if it does go down $4, you're gonna lose $400. Now, let's say that you want to risk $100, right? So now, exact same trade, you are gonna buy 25 shares now. You see a difference? Because if now it goes down, you're gonna lose $100 in it. Now let's say that I'm okay to lose 400, you're okay to lose 100 only. So you're gonna buy 25 shares, I'm gonna buy 100 shares. You see how exact same trades, but the position size is completely different based on the risk level. Now what that does is that, let's say that you bought here, you think it's gonna go up and you buy 1,000 shares, okay? And the stock goes down $2, but you are caught like a deer in headlight because you're down 2 grand, right? And the stock hasn't even come down to a stop price, and let's say it goes up again. But you get super scared and you sell it and you lose 2 grand, and then the stock goes up a lot, right? So you messed up your position sizing. So if you're already aware how much money you're gonna lose, then you decide how many shares you're gonna buy, and then you enter into a trade. So let's say that in this case I bought 100 shares, you bought 400 shares, okay? Depending, because I'm risking $100, you're risking $400. Then what happens is that if it works, you sell it, you stop out. If it works, you take profits. So how you take profit, that's the next part, right? The way you take profits is that I personally take profit is I take 1-to-2 ratio, 1-to-3 ratio, 1-to-4 ratio. So for example, if I'm risking $4, I will take some profit. So when I buy 400 shares, I will sell 100 shares at 46, which is like $4 profit. Then I take another $4 profit. When it goes up another 4, I sell another 100 shares. Then I sell another 100 shares. So what does that mean? Is that I'm risking only $400, but I'm gonna end up making like $1,200 to $1,500, even more, depending how much the strong goes. But now let's say here, now when I alerted this is very, very important. When I alerted this, someone got in, okay, and made a really, really good money, okay, and they were really happy, and guess what happened? They did not take any profits, and the stock came back all the way down. They were negative in it. Now imagine, it went huge. I mean, that's a massive push, right? Either you can, if you did not have profit targets, if you're just missing one part out of it, you still end up losing money. You see that? That's why it's so important to have complete trading plan. So you're completely okay with it. Now imagine this: you bought at 42, your stop loss 38, your profit target is 46, 52, 65, right? When the stock pushes up, you already know if it does hit 46, I'm gonna take profit there. That's it. You're not thinking too much, because you cannot. Your job as a trader is to make money, right? Not to catch the bottom and the top. So you don't know how much top is gonna go. You don't know how much down is gonna come. Your job is to make money consistently, and that is how you do it. You do it again and again, again and again. Now, the cool part is that this strategy is scalable. Once you're comfortable risking 400, then you increase your risk to 500, then you increase your risk to 600, then increase your risk to 700. What happens is that every time your profits get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And that's a complete strategy. And that's why I said the pros are that you get to find good entries if you have a good plan, you have good risk management, you have controlled losses. So if you lose, you only lose 400, but if you make 1,200 to 1,500 to 2,000, right? Risking 400. There's lack of emotions, because we clearly don't have any emotions anymore. We know exactly what we're going to do. We know how much money we're going to lose. We're not going to lose thousands of dollars, right? We're not going to lose money over it or sleep over it, right? So it's completely stress-free trading, and you become very, very independent. Guys, I just laid down the best trading plan in front of you, and that is how you do technical analysis and then develop a complete trading plan. All right. So that's it. I just did it in 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna add here's some questions here. Do you guys have any questions? Did you guys learn something? Was it beneficial? Did you guys understand? Do you have any questions on any part of it where it didn't make sense? I cannot increase the font size right now. No, because it's PowerPoint. Sorry. Faisal said, do you use or recommend Benzinga Pro scan? I don't use Benzinga Pro. For example, Benzinga Pro, I don't use it, man. You don't have to. For example, this Neo trade is a daily chart. This took like days to develop. You knew Neo, right? Why would you buy and spend $100? This was a perfect trade. It was alerted in our chat as well, right? Way before, right? We have so many people watching it. We have so many different eyes. I would rather just, watch our chat. That's what I would do, because we have so many different eyes. If you want to spend, go ahead, you might get something out of it. I take profit based on my risk to reward, okay, and then on top of it, see where the resistance is. For example, if I'm risking $4 per share, somebody asked, by the way, do you take profit targets based off the percentage gains or based off resistance points? So it's both. For example, if I'm risking $4 per share, right, if it goes up $4, I'm up 1 to 1, right? So I take some profit right there. I'm not, because the reason why is because when I'm entering into a trade, I know a lot of other people are entering into a trade as well. So a lot of people take 1 to 1, they take 1 to 2 ratio, they take 1 to 3 ratio. Also, it depends on each stock. For example, if it's an EV stock, electronic, EV stock, it has really good range because all the sector is really hot. So I might take a little. So it depends. You have to understand it's not just technical. We look at fundamental as well. This was NIO, right? It's electric EV stock. It is very popular. So we knew that, hey, this is first, fundamentals are also really important, and the sector, how the sector is, right? And then I have always take profits, some profit at 1 to 1, like 25% off. Okay, because what that does is that now that I've secured profit, it helps me take the other 75% position, hold it longer. Then what I do is I take another 50% off at 1 to 2, and then I let the remaining 25% go and see how much it goes. And once I start to see, hey, it's showing signs of weakness, then I take my final profit. So that's what I do. What tool? Okay, so somebody asked me what tool to use to do technical analysis. Thinkorswim, hands down the best. Thinkorswim is hands down the best. I have made tons of videos on Thinkorswim, and so I will, if you want, just check out my channel. Also, if you want, just join our Discord. We help out. Most of our people use Thinkorswim here. So Thinkorswim is the best in my opinion. A lot of people use Webull as well. I don't personally do it. People use Webull, they use TradingView, but I personally like Thinkorswim. It's free and it's really nice. Any candle patterns which we use for exit? So candle patterns, Chad, if you go to my chart patterns under here, let me talk about this. Chart patterns. Check here. So if you go in the education section and you go to chart patterns, I discuss chart patterns right here, right? I talk about so many chart patterns. There are tons of chart patterns, right? So this is a double bottom chart patterns, right? Where's the double bottom? You see twice, price came down twice, and then you buy here, okay? There's another pattern that I talked about. Tons of patterns that I talk about, right? Pattern. Yeah, so you want to go through the patterns, and I have also a pattern cheat sheet. But again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to screen time. So screen time is the most important. The more you see it, the better you're gonna get. That's the real. Guys, by the way, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, all right? Because we're gonna be doing more classes like this all the time, and like this too. For your swing trades, do you buy options, or if yes, how far do you buy the contracts, and do you buy in the money or out the money? Okay, so most of the time I buy shares. Depending. So if I do buy options, so if I do buy, sometimes what I do is I buy some shares and some options. So what I do is if I do buy options, then I buy, it depends on, if I think, okay, the stock's gonna go up in like 2 weeks, right? Then I buy 1 month out. I give extra 2 weeks, because after 2 weeks, that's when the premium starts to get you, right? After last 2 weeks. So I get at least 1 month out, and I get in a little outside the money, so let's say if I think the price is gonna hit 45 and I'm buying it at 42, then I'm gonna get in like 40. I'm gonna take strike price 43. So I'm little outside, I'm buying at 42, I'm thinking 43, but I'm thinking it's gonna go to 44, 45, because in the money, that's what I want to be in. But again, I believe that I strongly say that if you are, trading new, I'm sure that you are not. I know Jamal, but you are not. But if anybody is new, I suggest that you just trade stocks first and not trade options. I know everybody's talking about options because it's a really easy way to get people in because you need less money. It's very high volatile. A lot of people can make a lot of money or less money. It's a great, marketing technique to lure people in. But options are way harder, and there's a lot of other things to consider. Already, stock market is too tough, so why would you make it even harder, right? Does that answer your question, Jamal? Did I miss anybody's question? Oh, guys, by the way, if you guys are in the chat right now, make sure to like it. I'm going to do a lucky draw right now. So by the way, so my favorite book is how to what do you call the book name? One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore is by far one of the best books that I have read. I've listened to my Audible, and I've listened to it over like 10 times I think, and I still listen to it because it is always great gems. So I'm going to be giving away that book to one of our members. So if you guys, I'm going to give you like 2 more minutes to make sure you like it here, so that I know you guys in the chat, because it's only for people who are in the members only. So it's members only. And if you're not a member, if you want to be a member, just click on Discord link and it will tell you how to do it. It's just $20 a month, and first 10 days are free. Alright, so I'm gonna get started doing, guys. Make sure you like it, and I'm gonna do it. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So okay, so let's just do a real lucky draw here. Alright, guys, I'm gonna do so 7 people. Reactions. Alright, so I'm gonna do Ravi, AK, TBH, Shandon, Rizbiz, Faisal, Ami, Ikrama Chauhan. All right. Oh, there's more people. Oh my god, you guys are liking it now at the end. Did I cover everybody? I'm gonna give 1 more minute. Make sure you guys like it. I'm gonna give 1 more minute, and oh, okay, 9. So let me see, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 8. That's the 9th one is me. So how big? Jamal asked, how big is your master watch list, and how often do you delete and add stocks to it? Yusuf, what's your name, bro? Oh, you just added it. You Isaac. Where's Yusuf? I don't see your name, man. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are total 9 people, and the 10th is me, right? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. In my Hamza, I'm gonna add your name, I guess. What's your Hamza? What is your title or your nickname in the chat? I'll find you. Hamza, the way you do it is you need to like this here, your thumbs up, so that I know that you are in the, because it's only for members, so we have other people too. So it's only for members. Oh, okay, it does. All right, so I think everybody's in there. I'm gonna do real quick here. All right, so let's do configure. All right, I'm gonna draw it right now. Drawing. Riz, are you here? Oops, I'm not in the chat, but I liked and you do. Oh, Yusuf. I already did it. I'm sorry. I already did it. You're not seeing in my group? It's under chat, bro. Day chat room. I already did it. Now I don't want to be, it's here. Look. I said, like this post, if you're attending the class today, I will pick one of them via lucky draw to give away my favorite trading book via Audible. All right. I mean, I'll be doing these giveaways, all the time. But this is how I'm going to do it because there are other people outside too, and I only want to make sure it's only for, it's only for members only. So that's why I made sure that you guys like it so that I know, hey, you guys are in it. All right. Any other questions before I go? Oh, I think I did not answer a question, right? How big is your master? So I look at about 10 stocks and then I filter it down. Jamal, I am asking you a question. Oh, wait, Hami. Riz, I was gonna answer the question of somebody. How big is your master watch list and how often do you delete or add stock? I don't often delete or I don't add. I go through all the stocks that are really, really moving. For example, Tesla is always in my watch list, right? NIO is always in my watch list. Why? Because it always gives great patterns. It always moves like Tesla moves $10 at least up or down. If I only have 10 shares and obviously let's say that I only take $5 move and Tesla moves sometimes $100 a day, right? If I only take $10, right? If I only take $10 out of it, move from 50 and 50 shares, that's still $500, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I am the stocks that I have in my watch list are based on the range. If they have great range, if I'm expecting great range, they're gonna be my watch list. If I have their great volume, they're gonna be in my watch list. Because why? We trade momentum. So that depends on it. And then what I do is I narrow it down to 5 top stocks, okay, out of those 10, and then I look at those 10 stocks. Because what happens is that let's say I have 10 stocks in my watch list, 4 of them, shows really good movement in the open, in the first 50 minutes. So then I focus only on those 4 stocks, and then I remove those 6 stocks. That is how I'm able to get the best quality setups. Okay, that's what I do. Guys, if you guys are not in it, I'm really sorry. I announced it like multiple times. Really sorry, it was confusing. But I will make sure that next time, because I already did it, so I don't want to be. Hey Riz, what's your are you in the YouTube channel right now? So yeah, does that answer your question? Any other question? Hey man, Riz, make sure to message me real quick and then I'm gonna send you that book. By the way guys, the book I'm talking about is my favorite book, which is The One Good Trade. I'm gonna show you. It's this one. No. It's this one. Guys, my favorite trade ever. Book ever. Please watch this. Please listen to this book. Okay, it really changed my trading. I became profitable after reading this book. So must listen. Great entertaining book as well. Awesome, Zach. Thanks for joining in, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm gonna give you guys 2 more minutes, and if you have any questions, and then we're gonna get going. Hey Faisal, what's your question? Ask me, man. what question do you have about the custom order? I can definitely answer you. Here, I have my charts. How about candle indicators? What do you mean? Can you please more specific? Okay, okay, so, all right. Yeah, obviously definitely I use. So I use my favorite candle indicators are wicks. I talk about this all the time, check. I talk about this all the time is these wicks. These wicks. Okay, what these wicks means that the stock came down and then immediately got back up. Came down, immediately got back up. It means there's a very high demand. Okay, same thing here. The stock went up. It's the opposite. It immediately got back down. You see this wick? Came back down. Came back down. These wicks means that the stock is weak. If you see the wicks on the opposite side on the candle, it means the stock is strong. This is by far my favorite indicator. And notice how here. Notice here how you see this candle here, and look how the stock pushed up here. Notice how you see this candle here. The stock came down so much. So if you see this and if you're in stock, you know where to get out. So that's my favorite candle pattern. Candle, that I use. I use everything. Okay, so it comes with experience. Okay, there are lots of things. Obviously, I cannot go about every single. There's just so many topics, right? So we can do a separate class on candlesticks. Okay, we can do a separate class on candlesticks. And somebody had a question, Faisal. I place an order, the current stock price and breaks. The order gets rejected. It says the stop price must be above the current ask. So Faisal asked. So guys, if you guys don't know, I do this. We use bracket orders to get into a trade. So what that means is that I already have bracket orders set. If I want to short the stock here, for example, at the break of trend, all I do is I look for my risk, which is let's say $1. Then all I do is I sell, and then I go $1. It automatically puts my stop above here. It automatically takes my profit targets, automatically puts my sell order. It does everything for me. I have made a video on it, so I'll put a link down below somewhere if you guys have not, but this is how we do it. But Faisal is asking, whenever he does this, it rejects. He puts it and it just goes away, right? Stop price must be above current ask. Okay, so what you're doing is that it's saying stop price. So I'm gonna just do another. Okay, so for example here, okay, I want to buy Tesla right here. Let's say I buy Tesla. I buy here, so I'm gonna buy 50 shares here. However, when you buy it, it's not a limit order. You saved it wrong. Faisal, you saved this wrong. So I'm gonna show you here. So I'm going to show you when you go into the limit order brackets, and when you're creating a buy order here, you see how you're creating a buy. I'm going to make it bigger. So when you're saving it, you see how it says buy 50 limit. See that? But when you were doing it, now watch. When I do this, it says buy 50 at a limit. But when you saved it, it was like this. It was stop. You had a stop order. So you need to go and you need to fix it. No, I think it was Faisal's too, because he asked me, messaged me right now. Faisal, does that make sense? So what you were doing is, instead of buying, you went in and you had a limit, stop. You see how it's a stop here? You have to go down and go down below the price of where the currently price is at on the stock. Then it will give you a limit. But if you're above the price, it will give you a stop order. You don't want to put stop, you want to put limit order. So you want to go down and make sure it says limit. And then once it says limit instead of stop, you will not get the error anymore. So you need to go edit your order and make sure it says stop instead. Make sure it says limit instead of stop. Yep, and that will fix your issue, Faisal. All right. Guys, can you do me a favor and spread my YouTube channel and help me out here, because it's like I've put like I was watching and I saw apparently there is like you need to put at least like 100 videos to get 1K subscribers, and then it's supposed to go. So I'm about like 50 videos, so I'll keep going. But if you guys can help me out, and if you guys can help me out and spread the word, that would be great. Yeah, I know that it drove me crazy too, man. When I was figuring this out, when I made the big, there's not a single person anywhere is gonna show you this, because I made this up personally myself. That's something I'm proud of, and I came up with this whole setup myself, and I had to figure out one by one everything myself. It took me like 3 to 4 months to make up this, to come up with this complete, template setup, and I came up with so many issues with it. But I had to, because my risk management was the number one thing. And if you guys know, I talk about risk management number one. That's how you're gonna be consistently profitable. That's how I have been consistently profitable. All right, guys. So I think we're done. There's no more questions. If I missed anybody's questions, I couldn't find anything online. There isn't anything online, man. There isn't anything, because I came up with this myself. Literally, like I made it up. I don't know how. Just one day, like I just kept trying, and so there is nobody else using it. It's like only us. It's only us in the chat, and there's nobody using it. Awesome, Yusuf. I'm glad that you loved it. I'm glad. We're gonna be doing a next class on trading taxes. Okay, we have a CPA coming in next week, so make sure you guys are aware of that and attend it. All right, guys. So I think that's it. I'm gonna hang up now. And we're gonna talk. We'll see you in the chat. By the way, tomorrow's class is we're gonna do a stock watch list for tomorrow, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow 7 p.m. All right, guys. So awesome, Faisal. Love it. Thanks for the kind words. And we're gonna go and we're gonna see you guys next week. All right, guys. Oh no, tomorrow Sunday, right? We have a class tomorrow for the weekly live class. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.